All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. So much has happened. The problem is every time I'm like, that's crazy. I'll talk about this later, and then you wait for like a day or two. There's so many more stuff happens, and it's a lot. It's just so much. Anyway, let's get into it. We'll get into it. This will be a little bit longer than usual podcast, I would think, but we got to talk about it. I mean, there's so much to talk about. The first one we're gonna get into is first. Congratulations to Arsenal, right? Congratulations. Truly, they deserved it, right? This is to a point where now we're talking about Declan Rice is part of the conversation of getting a Ballon d'Or. That's the level we're talking about. They have done something that we were terrified that they might not done. And if they would have not done this mentally, they would have been broken. I believe that the consequences of them not winning the league this year would have been catastrophic, to say the least, to be honest. Starting from the coach and then the fan base. This fan base is so fragile. You know what I'm saying? I personally think this fan base is sick of being lied to. For the past 3 years, I've been told this is the year. Think about it. A month ago, the fan base was losing their minds saying that, are we really going to bottle this? Is this going to happen? And it looked like it could have happened. But it didn't happen. That's all that matters. It didn't happen, and they actually won. Regardless of the fact that I'm not going to hate. You guys won. This is amazing. It happened. The fan base can go crazy. In fact, I have a friend in our Sunday League football game, WhatsApp group, whatever. My guy was so happy. I was happy for him. I mean, it was beautiful to see Arsenal fans finally take that bottle, or the, what is it, Arsenal tier thing out of the way. They're Premier League champions. And well-deserved, and now Declan Rice is a part of the conversation of like, hey, is he going to be a Ballon d'Or contender? If England wins the World Cup, Harry Kane. It's still Harry Kane. There's just no doubt about it. I'm sorry to say this, but Harry Kane is, if England wins, Declan Rice is not winning this. It's going to be Harry Kane. I mean, it's just, anyway, that being said, congratulations to Arsenal, but it's not over. There's still one game to go through. And I generally think if they win the Champions League, Declan Rice might be back in the conversation. That's all I'm saying. That's all I am saying. Okay? So congratulations to Arsenal. Well deserved. And I really hope they win the Champions League as well. This would be icing on top. Their biggest goal was the Premier League. It's done. They're relaxed. They got one game left, but it really doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. It's over. All of them can go, get massaged legs, get the muscles ready for the Champions League next week. That's about it. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, and then staying on the Premier League, let's talk about Mo Salah. Okay, Mo Salah. Okay, I mean Liverpool's been absolutely wild, right? I don't know what's going on over there. There's been a revolt. I think there might be a revolt going on from like the top versus the bottom, right? Mo Salah has not had a great season. Most people say he's in the twilight of his career. That's what it looks like, but to him, it feels like he's being forced into this. He's not performing well this season, so therefore they're just kind of throwing him away and forgetting about, what he brings to the table. And he's coming out saying that, these guys don't even know what they're doing. What are we? Because obviously they're not even going to be in the Champions League, so that's kind of really haunting him. There's people on Mo Salah's side saying that he should have speaked out. It's good that he speaked out. And there were a lot of players who kind of backed him up about, he was throwing shades at also their coach as well, obviously because they don't get along. And this coach needs to be fired. I generally don't understand how this coach is still coaching Liverpool this long. And a lot of people thinking that maybe they'll just wait until the season's over. But bro, I mean, this guy got to go. Like, this is absolutely insane. He has to go. Anyway, that's what kind of Mo Salah's pointing out. It's like, what are we? What happened to us? You know what I mean? It's because of this guy. And everybody is on, not everybody, most people are on Mo Salah's side. And there's other people who are on the side of saying that, why is Mo Salah talking? You're a legend in the club. Just accept the fact that it's a twilight of your career and things are just not going for you. And maybe it's just time to, start the next chapter of your life. You know what I mean? There's no reason to be coming out and ruin your legacy by talking trash on the club. And, also the coach, right? You're the leader. You should lead. And you should lead in the locker room instead of trying to bring the public into this spectacle, really. And I kind of agree. So we'll see what happens. That's kind of wild going on over there. I mean, I don't know what. It's just a lot. And then the big news in Chelsea is that Xavi Alonso is back. And one thing I have to give it to Chelsea is that they don't stop tweaking. Okay, they don't stop tweaking, trying different things all the time, regardless how much money it costs, regardless how the public looks at them. They never stop trying different things. How many coaches have been through there? Honestly, how many players are there? It doesn't matter. They don't stop, and that's kind of the reason why they win champion leagues is because they don't stop tweaking. They just don't stop. That's what you have to do. You have to get new ideas all the time to really, and also get the players on their toes as well. Because every time a new coach comes, these players become new people. They start performing outrageous, right? Just to earn a spot in the team for the new coach. You know what I mean? Hey, he's like, this is what I can do for you. You know, it really does work. Ask Madrid, right? We'll get to that. We'll get to them. Don't worry about it. We'll get to them. And another team that nobody really talked about is Manchester United. Manchester United is playing in the Champions League. They're back in the Champions League. The club is back, all right? Surprisingly, their fans are not really too excited. They're not really raving about it as much as I thought they would. But they're still talking about who's going to be the coach next year. I mean, my boy performed well enough. Why don't they just keep him? You get what I'm saying? I don't understand this. If I brought you to the Champions League, why can't I just keep the job? You know, and I feel sad that a lot of people who play with Michael Curry, like a lot of people who play with this guy, they don't even back him up as a coach. I was kind of surprised by that. I'm like, what do they know? What do they know that we don't know? Because everything's happening. He looked like he's putting everything together. And another person who deserves their flowers is Bruno Fernandes. Right, Bruno Fernandes is the best midfielder in the Premier League right now. He's been the best midfielder in the Premier League for I'm going to say the last at least 2 years. The last 2 years, I would say, for sure. Right, no argument there. And generally, because of him, is one of the reasons why they're qualifying for the Champions League, in my opinion. It's not my opinion. Statistically, I mean, it's him. I mean, he's literally, I believe, did he win the Premier League Player of the Season? If he did, well-deserved is my point. I mean, no one can argue against that, right? He's been outstanding. Anyway, Casemiro's retiring. No, he's not retiring, but he's leaving. This is his last time. He's leaving Manchester United. And what does this mean for Manchester United next season? Are they really going to buy new people to really put everything together? It looks like what they're trying to go through is that maybe let's stop changing stuff and let's just focus on what we got and just build on this. And I think that's a great idea. They should build on this. There's a lot of complaints about how their stadium looked, like Ronaldo was complaining. I don't think that it's about the players and the mindset and the coach. If they can really fix that, I can't really talk anything about their investment on the stadium. That's that's the club owner's stuff. But regardless, what's happening in the field is pretty solid. It's pretty solid. You know, we're talking about them. We're talking about them. You know what I mean? So next year, it'd be interesting to see how they perform. One sad thing to talk about in the Premier League is that Harry Maguire, Cole Palmer, and Phil Foden didn't make the World Cup team. And there's a lot of people talking about, like, what is this about? But I don't know what this is about either, to be honest with you. I think Tuchel's one of those coaches that he does whatever he wants. There's no making sense of his choices, really. You know what I mean? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So we'll see what happens. If he wins, he looks like a genius. If he loses terribly, he'll be fired immediately. As simple as that. So we'll see. We'll see what he's thinking, right? Does he have a vendetta against Jude? Like, it seems like what's going on? What's going on over there? It seems like there's something going on over there. Anyway, I'm gonna bypass that. And staying on the Premier League, another thing we got to talk about is Manchester City, right? Manchester City had an okay season. I mean, generally, they had an okay season. So the big thing that's going on over there is that Pep is leaving. Pep Guardiola is leaving at the end of the season. Now, how did we find out about that? First, we started off, there's a video going around that Pep was practicing. I guess there was a video, someone was recording in the field where they're placing his cup. You know, they're practicing how they're going to do the ceremony before he leaves. And someone recorded that and put it online. And people were like, whoa, there's a ceremony? I thought he wasn't leaving. And then, out of nowhere, we're like, this dude is leaving. And then the players didn't even know about it. They found out from Twitter. They found out from Twitter. So Pep is like, "Oh, this is crazy. That wasn't my plan. I was trying to." Pep is leaving. Anyway, Pep Guardiola is leaving, and he's taking a break. I think he just had enough. He's trying to follow club footstep. I mean, this is tiring. I mean, this dude got divorced. He lost his wife. Generally, we don't know. I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna purge into that because we don't know. But the theory is that the relationship didn't work out simply because, yeah, he's all about football. He's married to football. He won't divorce football. So I think it's time for him to take a break from football, and it'll be good for him. Are we hoping that he comes back to Barcelona to coach? I think it's just destiny, or Spain. I mean, I just assumed that he would go to Spain. That's what's left. This is the most decorated coach in not in Premier League history, because Alex Ferguson's still there, but this guy, I mean, the legend. Is he better than Alex Ferguson? It's still debatable. It's debatable, but I think he's so good. He's amazing. He's done it in so many countries. You know what I mean? That's the difference between him and Alex Ferguson, is that he has done it in different countries. But again, I'm not. There's no reason to read too much into that. But that being said, it's been. I don't know what's gonna happen to Manchester City. There's also these charges that they have to deal with. Is this part of it? Is this part of the reason why he's leaving as well? I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I hope these charges happen simply so we can get Haaland. That's really all I'm hoping. Bernardo Silva is leaving. This is his last season as well. He's going to Inter Milan. That's what I'm hearing. And he also offered himself to Real Madrid. He's not going to Barcelona. Let's be real here. We don't need midfielders. We do not need midfielders at all. We don't need them. So therefore, he's offering himself to Real Madrid or Inter Milan. Inter Milan is a great fit. That's what these guys go to. Inter Milan is like twilight play. It's a twilight team. Every player in Inter Milan, the last 3 seasons, is a twilight club. When you're in a twilight season, you go to Inter Milan. You go to Italy. So that being said, right? Inter Milan is perfect. I hope he goes there and he strives. Great. For Manchester City, though, they got 2 cups this season. They beat Chelsea and they beat Arsenal in 2 finals. And they almost spoiled the party for Arsenal. But they didn't. Arsenal staying 10 toes. They didn't really. It was Manchester City. Manchester City didn't stand 10 toes and they lost. And therefore, they didn't even lose. They tied. So therefore, it's over. Anyway, let's go to La Liga. All right, there's so much going on in La Liga. Let's start off with how poor La Liga is. Okay, so people were doing the math. There was a lot of first, let's start off with saying congratulations to Barcelona for winning La Liga. Yay. So yeah, congratulations to Barcelona winning La Liga back to back. How beautiful! It's very, very, very beautiful. And let's review the season. So let's just talk about the season first. The season how was it? As a Barcelona fan, are you satisfied out there? Are you satisfied how the La Liga season went? Not just La Liga season, but how Barcelona season went overall. What are you happy? Are you happy? This is a season where Barcelona has played 37 league match. They won 31, drew 1, and lost 5. Giving them an 88% win rate, 94 point, which is 9 points higher than last season at the same stage. The goal difference is 61 plus, scoring 94 goals, 2.54 per game, conceding 33 goals. The team has scored an opening goal in 26 of 37 matches, maintaining a strong scoring consistency, netting in 97% of matches. Home and away records. Home, 19 wins, 0 draws, 0 losses, totaling 57 points. Barcelona has won all 19 home matches, demonstrating dominance at Camp Nou. Away record, 12 wins, 1 draw, 5 losses, totaling 37 points. They lead the away table with the highest total of away points. Scoring and attacking, Barcelona leads the league in offense performance. Total goals, 94. Goal per game, 2.54. Goals in the last 8 matches, 16. Away goals, 37. Scoring frequency, 1 goal every 35 minutes. We're not done. We're gonna get all the details, guys. We're gonna get all the deets. We're gonna do it. Okay, defense. Goals conceded, 33. 0.89 per game. Goal conceded in the last 8 matches, 5. 0.63 per game. 29.2 lower than the season average. Key players this season. Lamar. Established stars like Lewandowski. Rafinha contributed significantly in the scoring. Average points per game, 2.41. FC Barcelona combination of high scoring offense, solid defending, and consistent home-away performance have positioned them at the top of La Liga for the season 2025-2026. That sounds beautiful, right? I mean, when you read all this, I mean, this is like Chabby T telling me all this. This all sounds great and whatnot. For me, La Liga was great. I just read the statistic. La Liga was absolutely beautiful. We were in the run making 100 points in the season. La Liga, I have nothing to say about La Liga. We're great. To the point that we're gonna get to Madrid, but like they're losing their they're losing their marbles over there. So we're absolutely amazing when it comes to domestically. The problem is Champions League. That's the problem. We want the Champions League. I don't care what any Barcelona player says. I don't care what any Barcelona fan will tell you. The Champions League is everything. We haven't won the Champions League in over 10 years. That's kind of not okay. And I understand that we're still coming out of a crisis, so it's a lot to ask for what I want, really. But nevertheless, we have the talent to do it. It seems what we're having a problem is the mindset and these silly mistakes. The mindset, and sometimes it feels like the players we have available are not meant to follow the tactic that we have. And they're falling short every season. And we're pushing that curse, right? Every season we're getting better, for sure, no doubt about it. But the fact that this season, even the way we went out against Atletico Madrid, it was absolutely marbles. Think about what happened. It was a season where I just read the stats. We have not lost a goddamn game in Camp Nou, right? But when Atletico Madrid came, out of every other night, we couldn't score 1 goal. I'm not even saying the loss aspect of it. The fact that they couldn't even score 1 goal. This is I read all the statistics to you. The biggest game of the season, nobody could score a goal. DeJoy did an interview. I'm not sure if it was. Yeah, I'm assuming it was yesterday. You know what I mean? He did an interview. He was talking about, and one thing he said that I resonate very well is that I'd rather get a top class player than 3 average players. And this is exactly the reason. Because times like this, you need somebody to break through to score. Simple as that. And a lot of times for Barcelona, nights like this, whenever they can't score any goals, the back doesn't resonate with the front. I mean, the back is like, you know for a fact the system they play, if you don't score, the other team eventually will score because you are giving them those chances. The Champions League is just a different breed. And to really succeed in the Champions League, you need players who don't have nerves, who just don't have that. Think about what just happened, the way we went out. We didn't score a goal, that's one. Mental, right? And the red cards. We literally got a red card. I don't even want to go into it because it's Eric Garcia has had an outstanding season in La Liga. In the Champions League, he got a red card. Kubasi, great defender. Red card. I don't even want to get into Arujo. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And the other thing that we had against us this season was the fact that the front three that we had last season, the whole season, maybe they had what, like 2 3 games played with each other, and then someone would get hurt. It was constantly that. Rafinha was hurt, Lewandowski was hurt. It was like that back and forth with both of them. And the sad news is obviously Lewandowski's leaving. This is his last season, his done deal. He had his last home game, and he was very emotional, and he was honestly very beautiful. And I think this guy is such an important player, and I am very sad to see him go. I was hoping he would get another season, but he didn't. He came at a time where he didn't have to. He was the biggest player, the biggest striker, hot commodity at the time, and he did everything he could to come play in Barcelona because that was his dream, and we couldn't even afford him. Bayern had to just suck it and had to let him go. Dude, Bayern hates us for that reason. Think about it. They knew they were broke. They knew Barcelona was broke, but they knew that Lewandowski didn't want to stay there. So there's nothing they could have done to keep him there. So they had to deal with whatever Barcelona offered. And that's because of Lewandowski. It's all because of Lewandowski. And he was a kickstarter. He even came, even in his contract, there were times they were telling him, hey man, don't score too many goals because we might have to pay Bayern some money. And he would literally jeopardize his performance simply the good of the club. I don't think people understand that. Like, he even talked about how confusing that was for him mentally as a striker. They were telling this dude, hey man, how about you chill out with the goals? Think about that, bro. And he did it with no complaint. He did it. And even seeing him, how emotional he was leaving that, I honestly, it was so beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. I just want to say thank you. I mean, he's one of the greatest strikers. Think about it. He was there for 3 seasons. How many cups did he win? How many league titles did he win while he was there? Mad respect. Mad respect to Lewandowski. Thank you so much. I mean, this guy literally brought us back. He was such a big deal in this project. So, all the best to him. Thank you. Now we're back to his wages was crazy. So now we're back to 101. That's what they're saying. We could spend some money. And what I'm saying is, like I was just saying what DeJoin just said, I'd rather have a world-class player, okay? World-class player than have 3 average players. Sell these average players, get some world-class players. It's time to spend. I'm dead serious. There got to be a way for us to get Haaland. There's got to be a way. I mean, Pep. There's got to be a way to get Haaland. I get this 10-year contract, whatever. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. We need him or we need Alvarez. The only one is Alvarez. We got to get Alvarez, guys. We have to. Lionel Messi. Get in his ears. We got to get Alvarez. We need somebody like that. We need people who are absolutely clutch. People who can score consistently at least 25 goals a season at the front. That's what we need. And then when you think about the back, you definitely need the back. We need a mature, a great choice-making defender. I don't care where they get this defender from, but they need to get a defender. Get a defender. A striker and a defender. We're solid, dog. Cancelo, I hope Cancelo stays. I really hope Cancelo is not leaving. I hope they find a way to make Cancelo stay. That would be... And he kind of just encouraged Blade to really keep his tempo up there. Keep challenging him. You get what I'm saying? So for Barcelona, it's been a great season, but the Champions League hasn't been great. But the reason why it hasn't been great is that the front three has not been together. Like I was saying, Lewandowski is gone. Rafinha is just now... I mean, he's been hurt, not hurt. Rafinha has not been fully fit this season. And then you have Lamar, who is still working on his finishing, really, right? He's getting better every season as well, but just not there yet. And then the biggest news is that Rashford is going to stay. He wants to stay. I'm not sure if the deal is done deal, but I think we're going to trigger that 30 milli. They're going to trigger that 30 milli, and I think Rashford definitely is worth the 30 milli. But the wages, and he says he's going to cut down the wages. If he's going to cut down the wages and decide to be a backup, we're set. Everybody's happy. He looks absolutely happy. This is his vibe. Everybody likes him. I mean, the way DeJohn was talking about him, it was very lovely. So I hope it really works out for the guy. So that's for Barcelona. Great season. Champion League is what we want. Hopefully next season we really get a striker. I mean, we just need a world-class striker, right? So now jump into real quick Atletico Madrid. Let's get to Atletico Madrid. Simply, like I was saying, Alvarez, he has to want to come to us. I mean, why would he not want to come to Barcelona at this point? What are you going to do with Atletico Madrid, honestly? Think about it, bro. Time is running out. You're a soccer player, all right? You got to make these choices real quick, dog. You were under the shadow of Holland, okay? And you left that under the shadow to win trophies. Why would you not want to go to Barcelona to really show that you're just as good as Holland? Think about it. If you're at Atletico and just stay there, yeah, you're a striker, but you're not a Barcelona, Real Madrid, or Manchester City striker, dog. You got to do it. You just got to do it. I'm sorry, dog. You got to do it. I don't know what kind of hijacking you have to do. You got to do it. And another one is farewell to Griezmann. Griezmann's left. I mean, he's gone. How many trophies did he win? Like 2? It was kind of sad that he was crying because the season that he left to go to Barcelona, Atletico won the league. You know what I mean? And then when he went back to Atletico, they stopped winning again. It was kind of, it's funny. And he said he was sad that, he's like, I made a mistake. That was one of the biggest mistakes I made in my career. I didn't know how much you guys loved me. I wish I would have stayed, so I'm sorry. I'm like, bro, he was the second most paid player in Barcelona. I think he was getting paid like $700,000, over $700,000 a week. Shut up, right? Shut up, dude. Oh, my God. If you only knew, are you serious, bro? Get out of here. I feel no sympathy, but what is it? He had a great career. He's going to go to somewhere in America, and he's going to make some more money. It's sad that he hasn't won the league while he's been there for that long, but you make these choices, and you got to face them. Anyway, going to Real Madrid. Brother, this has been... I'm thinking every day when the saga was happening, I'm like, nah, dude, you can't be doing more of this. And he kept adding more to it. Anyway, going back to the final season of Madrid, the final episode of season 3. Are we in? What season are we in? We don't know what season we're in, but the final season has been absolutely bonkers. Okay, a lot of series this season has let us down. Okay, if you're somebody who just finished The Boys, I understand. That was crazy. How is this guy telling this dude like, hey man, I'll suck you all right now, dog. Just don't kill me. Are we really serious? Anyway, coming back here. So the season finale was that the president of the club had enough of you people, okay? I'm talking about Paris. I'm talking about the president of Real Madrid. So the president of Real Madrid had enough of you people constantly criticizing the club, constantly criticizing him. He's sick of it. All these lies the media's telling, he can't take it anymore, okay? And the final straw to him was the fact that we keep saying 2 seasons with no trophies. How could that be? And you're the president of it? He was boiling. He's like, tomorrow at this time, we're having a press conference. This dude had a press. He got all the what is it, journalists that were talking about him. He's like, bring it all together. And he started reading quotes that they wrote to. He's like, you wrote. Was it ABC? ABC, you wrote this, you know what I mean? My father and I used to love your newspaper, but now I'm going to unfollow you because you guys are distrustful. And then at one point he's like, hey man, people said I was like the best coach Madrid ever had. I'm not saying that. People are He said, I'm not saying that. They're saying that. It's a little embarrassing. He goes, it's a little embarrassing to bring it up, but like it is true. They did say I was a president ever. And then he told the news media that what is it? He doesn't have cancer. You guys lied that I have cancer. Why are we complaining that we don't have a club? What is that? We don't have we didn't win cups two seasons. Are you not counting the other side gigs that we did last season? Are you guys serious? I mean, we're the best, And then they're like, all right, can we ask you some questions? and they would try to ask him questions, but he would just derail the conversation immediately. I think at one point he was like being a little offensive to this guy with a Mexican accent. Let me just say this: somebody who doesn't speak Spanish, and someone who speaks Spanish saying that this guy has a Mexican accent. I don't even know what that is. That like Australian guy is like, yo, this guy has some Australian accent. I don't understand what he's saying. That's what I imagine it is, but it just, I don't know. I just never thought about it. It's just funny to think about. It's not really offensive, but it's just funny to think about that. Anyway, so he's going on about that, and and the biggest thing he throws out that was like Barcelona. He puts Barcelona under the bus. He's like, yo, these guys, the paying the referee case, these guys are paying referee. This is the biggest case in football, and no one's paying attention to it. No club wants to do it, but we have to do it because we're the greatest club ever. And then out of nowhere, he's like, if people want to do something different here, maybe they should run for it. In fact, I'm gonna activate the election, and we're gonna run election, and I'm gonna have people run against me. Whoever wants to do it, let's go. And then they're like, oh, well, when is the election gonna be? He's like, don't worry about it. Anyway, and then he started like scrolling his phone. So they even tried to get him like to end the press conference, but he wouldn't stop. He literally at one point he's like, I got nothing to do today. I got time. Let's keep talking. So he was just riffing. He was just riffing the whole time. And then eventually the next day, whenever that interview was over, he was shocked that the reception was not great. People were like, yo, what are you doing? He even said, these fights happens all the time. The problem is the snitch. Whoever's snitching, we need to find who this snitch is, and we need to get to the bottom of that. That's the problem here. It's not about the players fight. People fight all the time. It's the fact that we got some snitches here. That's the problem here. Who's coming to you guys, telling you, and you people twist the words. The media, you're fake news. Fake. He came out to just tell them they're fake news, essentially, right? So it didn't go very well. Barcelona basically said, yo, we're going to sue this guy. This guy is like defaming our club the next day. So he saw that people were not taking it right. So he went to the biggest news organization that loves his club. The Madrid Glazers is what we call them. He went there and he basically was like, he did part two and he doubled down. He didn't even back up. In fact, he was like, I don't even understand how I offended anybody. I don't understand how people didn't understand what I was saying. He's like, first of all, I get that Barcelona want to sue me. All right, whatever. I get that my relationship is ruined, but whatever. That's what he said. He's like, well, whatever. I don't care. And they asked him about like, hey man, are you gonna get Mourinho? I mean, it seems like what you're trying to do is get Mourinho on here. And he's like, bro, don't worry about it. Why are you asking these questions like that? Don't worry about Mourinho. That's not none of my business. He's like, I don't even talk to these players. I don't see these guys. I see them maybe like at ceremonies or whatnot. I call them maybe sometimes, but I do president stuff. I'm a busy guy. That's what he said. I'm a busy guy. Like I was saying, there's a camp of Vinicius. There's a camp of Kylian Mbappe, the dictator, as they would call him. And which camp is which, right? You were hoping, where's the president? Where's the president lie? There's a bunch of stories about how the president and Vinicius are very close. And as you know, Vinicius' contract's running out. They're doing negotiation, and there's a talk. These are millions of dollars conversations. So therefore, you know for a fact that everything matters, right? So when they were asking him, like, hey, man, he literally said, they asked him, like, hey, what's going on with this problem with Vinicius and Kylian Mbappe not working well together? How are you going to deal with that problem? And he's kind of like, Vinicius, yeah, he's cool, but Kylian Mbappe is the best player in the world. He said that. He said that. In the football world, he basically said he's on Kylian's side. That's what he said. So as this is all happening, and then on the other side for Kylian Mbappe, that boy's being a straight up dictator. So obviously, he basically came out and said, I was completely fine at Clasico, but they decided not to put it in because I became the 4th-string striker. Alvaro told me that I'm the 4th-string striker. That's what he said. He basically threw his coach under the bus. Okay? And the coach came. He's like, I don't know what this guy's talking about. I don't know where he even got that he was a 4th striker. I don't remember having that conversation. You know what I'm saying? So that already messes up everything. So Kylian Mbappe is saying that he doesn't feel he's important or this coach doesn't prioritize him or anything like that. And Why is he telling it? Why is he Why is he doing that? Why do we need to know this? Why can't he just have this conversation with the coach? And not even that. He knows for a fact this coach is about to leave anyway. He's there part time. He's there for like a minute. Why is he doing that? A time where people think he's a dictator. They think he's controlling everything. And then now you have the president coming out saying that he's the best player in the world. So basically telling you that they're completely behind Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe is not leaving anywhere. If anybody's leaving from Vinicius and Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius is leaving. Now the problem is the fan base all are on Vinicius' side. They have seen Vinicius give them the Champions League. They have never seen Kylian Mbappe give them any trophy. Why would they back him up? And that's the problem. So when the game was going on after Perez's interview, there was banter saying that Perez, you're the problem. And in the game, he's arguing with like Madridistas. Like, why is he doing? He's doing all this. There were times where I thought this president was a cool president because he's never emotional. He's literally has the same face all the time. But the facade is over for me. This guy's a straight up clown. So anyways, that's going on. So they finally said, let's spice this up even more. So they decided to hire Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho is back at Madrid, guys. I don't know. It's very hard to have any kind of opinion, and it was fun to see how everybody kind of reacted, how they interpret this news, right? So just a few months ago, they were calling this guy, maybe he's a racist simply because he wasn't backing up Vinicius' claim of racism. And now he's going to coach Vinicius. And I don't think anybody's going to bring this. I promise you, no one's going to bring this up. Nobody cares anymore. Everybody kind of passed on because obviously the ruling that the kid wasn't even racist in the first place. So just from just that little scenario, I never assumed there was conversation talk about how Joseph could have come back before that incident. But the fact that incident happened, I thought that was a done deal. It wasn't going to happen. But it happened. Jose Mourinho is back in Madrid again. Okay? Why? What are we doing? Is it because of his tactics? Maybe. But really why? Think about it. Why? Is to control these superstars. That's it. Now, this is like, I don't know if this is like what is it? Lighting a match up here? Like there's so much tension going on with all these players. Is Mourinho the guy to really get all these players in line? Yeah. I mean, I think he's the last person, to be honest with you. I don't know any player, because Mourinho has won anything. What can you honestly tell him that he hasn't done? So all these big ego players have never won everything that, Mourinho won. So just from that point, like when Zidane was there, they respected him very much. So they're hoping that he'll have Zidane effect. Is that going to happen? I don't think so at all. These guys are such a high-minded, and Mourinho is such a latter state of his career. And I think he's a lot more hardened. And I don't know how hardened these players are. Players are a lot more soft than Mourinho. But he's performed great in Benfica. He hasn't lost a game. So I can't really argue when it comes to his coaching ability. I just don't know his managing people ability is going to go well against these superstars. Are they going to give him all the powers basically to the point that he can just sit down one of these egos down? Is that going to happen? I'm quite fascinated. So whatever drama you think was going to end, they literally just added spice to the whole menu for next season. So next season for Madrid, it can either be crazy amazing, you know what I mean? A Clasico could be another fire back to being crazy, or it could just be Madrid season 4. That's it. Right? Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got. I will see you next time.